Hey, Magic friends, welcome back. Hamster in the house. That's right. Commander Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, Battle for Baldur's Gate. More leaks are here, and I gotta admit, I love this little hamster thing they got going on with the armor and all that stuff. So he gets a cameo. So we're gonna get right into it with more leaks from Baldur's Gate. Well, sort of. So as you guys know, a lot of these leaks, a lot of these cards got leaked and spoiled early. So we might be running past a few that you've already seen, but there are new ones. So let's go ahead and walk it back real quick as we walk past some goodies but oldies and a lot of the new ones that are now out. So here we go. Very first one is Kadera, Caller of the Small, white, green, and 1 for a 3/3 with trample. Not bad as an Orc Ranger. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, for each token you control, create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. More great creature token goodness. So not too bad for an uncommon. Definitely think people are going to be putting these in decks. Next, we have the Agent of the Iron Throne, a black and 2. This is a background. Commander creatures you have whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. That's going to be real popular in some of them new commander decks. Next, we have the Treasure Keeper. So for 4 colorless, you get a 3/3. It's a construct. When it dies, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card with mana value 3 or less. This could also be a land, apparently. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in random order. So this is kind of like that Eldrazi thing that was 3 mana that you got something that was 3 or less or whatever, except it's 4 and it gets anything. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. It's probably a lot of commander decks. I like it a lot. Next, we have the Elven Sharpshooter, green and 2 for a star and 2 toughness, which means it's a elf ranger with reach. Its power is equal to the number of creatures you control. That could be deadly. Whenever Elven Sharpshooter enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying and opponent controls. That is really, really nice. This has lots of utility. It's even green, which will make it great in a token deck. I think this is going to be a pretty good include on a lot of decks. Next, we have Shadowheart, Dark Justicar, black and 3 for a 3/4. It is a rare. It's a human elf cleric. It's got it all. Black and colorless to tap it, sacrifice another creature. Draw X cards where X is that creature's power. You can then choose a background. This thing is busted. Wow. Man. This is a great card. Like, yeah, this is great. Sack a creature, draw cards equal to its power, and you don't lose life or anything. You just get to draw cards. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Nice. Next, we have Alondo the Seer. Nice duds. Anyway, a blue, green, and 2 for a 3/5 human shaman. You can tap it, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand and put a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. It gains when the last time counter is removed from this card. If it's exiled, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste till end of turn. Then remove a time counter from each other card you own in exile. Ooh, this is disgusting. So this is pretty much like just putting suspend on everything you own, and the minute something comes off suspend, everything ticks down, and it can really start a big chain reaction. This is gonna be a big player in some decks. I like this card a lot, especially just for 4 mana. I like it. All right, next we have Jan Zensen, the Chaos Crafter. Red, white, and black for a legendary creature, Gnome Artificer. Has haste. Tap it, sacrifice an artifact creature, create 2 treasures. Okay. And then you tap it, sacrifice a non-creature artifact, create 2 colorless constructs. Alright, so here's a combo on a stick. So basically, if you can get something that can untap this thing, like when creatures or something enter the battlefield, you can just go ham making all kinds of stuff and doubling all your tokens. This very well could easily be a 1 or 2 card combo. I like this thing a lot. Alright, moving right along. Next we have Agent of the Shadow Thieves. What a title. So it's a background, it's black and 1. Command creatures you own have whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, put a +1, -1 counter on this creature. It gains Death Touch and Indestructible to end of turn. I don't like that. Alright, moving right along. Next we have Karlark, Fury of Avernus. So for red and 4, ooh, it's a mythic, so it's a 5/4. Tiefling Barbarian, that's hilarious. Whenever you attack, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap all attacking creatures. They gain first strike until end of turn. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Oh boy. So, this is disgusting. It pairs very well with that card from Almond Cat that gives you a free combat phase because you basically get to untap. Well, it says attacking creatures. It may not come. Well, no. I don't know. Either way, 5 mana for a 5/4. It gives you extra combat steps. I'm sure there's some way to break this. So, yeah, there's that. Moving right along. Next, we have Trailblazer's Torch. So, 4 colorless common. Wow. Enters the battlefield, you take initiative. Nah. Whenever equipped creature's combat deals. Whenever equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 2 damage to each creature blocking it. It's probably not going to see any play unless someone plays this thing in limited. Alright, next we have the Avenging Hunter, a green and 4 for a 5/4 common, has trample. When it enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. Again, decent card, probably only going to see play in draft or something. We have here the Geode Golem. It's 5 for a 5/3. Trample, when it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast your commander from the command zone without paying its mana cost. Oh, Jesus. Well, at least it's an uncommon, and at least it blocks, but it still has trample. I mean, this is probably going to be something you see play just because of what it does. So, whatever. Moving on. Next, we have Gaun's Gate. So we have another gate card. Because this land is a gate. Gates you control into the battlefield untapped. Oh my god. This should be a rare. Anyway, tap for a colorless. Add 1 mana to your mana pool of any color a gate you control would produce. I can't believe this is uncommon. This is amazing. They're really pushing those gate decks. Anyhow, next we have Rasad Yin Bashri. What a name. White and 2 for an 0/3. Human Monk. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So, okay, so he's a butt fighter. Whenever he attacks, if you have the initiative, double the toughness of each creature you control to end a turn. Sweet Jesus. This can get out of hand real quick and into butt. Anyway, I think it's going to be a great card for all those butt fight decks out there. Walls and what have you. It's going to be pretty neat. So, moving right along. We have the Sword Coast Sailor. So for a blue and 1, it's a background. Your commander has, whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, this creature can't be blocked. And I don't like that. Next we have Bone Summoner Cleric. So I think we already went over this one. Black and 1 for human cleric. Black and 3. Sacrifice Bone Summoner. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. So you actually pay 1 more to get this resurrecting ability. But you do get to split it up so you can cast it on turn 4 instead of turn 5 because of mana cost. So probably going to be an include in a lot of those resurrection decks. We have Skynos Dragonheart, so a green and 4 for a 4/4 legendary Dragon Ranger. Anyway, whenever the Dragonheart attacks, it gets +X/+X in a turn where X is the greatest power among dragon cards in your graveyard or other dragon creatures you control. Kind of like this one. So basically, when it attacks, it's an 8/8. Yeah, seems pretty good for a common. Uncommons. All right, we have Wizards of Thay. So we've already seen this one, but we'll walk it back real quick. Blue and 3, Human Wizard, has Mirrodin. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. You may cast sorcery and instant spells as though they had flash. 3/3 for 4. Very good card, very good rare, and we'll probably see lots of play. Next we have Duke Ulder Ravengard. So white, red, and 4 for Human Noble Soldier. Beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and myriad until the end of turn. Whenever it attacks for each opponent other than the defending player, you may create a token that's a copy of that tapped creature and attacking that player and or planeswalker they control. Exile tokens into combat. So, moving right along. Not too bad. Alright, we have Furbolg the Flutist. Anyway, so he's a giant bard. That means he's got a giant. Never mind, we won't go there. So for 2 red and 4, he's a 4/4. He has enthralling performance. When he enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature you don't control until the end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste and merited until the end of turn. So when it attacks, you get a copy. Yada yada yada. Not too shabby. Probably a decent rare. 6 mana seems like a lot, but hey, it is what it is. Next we have Mahadi Emporium Master. So red, black, and 1 for a 3/3 Cat Devil. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. That doesn't seem too bad, especially with like a Wrath deck or something like that. I kind of like it. We have the Acolyte of Bahamut. So for a green and 1, oh, it's a background. Your commander has the first dragon spell you cast each turn costs 2 less. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's going to be a really good one to have in your dragon decks. Feywild Visitor. So for a blue and 2 background, whenever one or more non-token creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature token with flying. That's okay. All right, look at this reprint, guys. It is the Basilisk Collar. This thing's, I think, still $20, $30. So we got a reprint as a rare. The equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink, and you get to equip for 2. Very nice. Great reprint. Like it a lot. It's about time they reprinted this thing, and this picture's pretty sweet, too. Not going to lie. Next, we have Viconia Drow Apostle. Hey, we found a Drow. So for a black and 2, you get a 2/3 Elf Cleric. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Just, okay, like this is great. Like just 4 more creatures, so let me just pick one of these up. Wow, this is really good. I like this card. It's great uncommon. Alright, next we have Corlessa Scale Singer. So for a blue and green, you get a 1/4 Dragon Bard. You look at the top card of your library anytime, you may cast dragon spells from the top of your library. That's really good. I had a buddy ask me, why is this thing green? And I was like, well, kind of like, look at the top card, Courser of Crewfix style. But it's a dragon, so you can cast dragons, and that makes it blue. I think. Probably should have been red. But red-green probably a bit much. But anyway, point being, still a cool card. I like it. It's going to definitely be in dragon decks. We have Vol Candlekeep Researcher. A blue and 3 human wizard with vigilance. Add a number of mana of colorless mana equal to the researcher's toughness, which is 3. This mana can't be spent to cast spells from your hand. This mana can't be spent to cast spells. Okay, so you can cast anything except it's not from your hand. For 4 mana, it's kind of cool. I mean, it does tap for 3 colorless. It has vigilance, so you get to swing with it too. I think there might be a purpose for this thing. I'll have to wait and see though. Next, we have Majestic Creation. So for 2 green and 6, just a mere 8 mana, this mythic says, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own that is on the battlefield or in the command zone. Okay, or in the command zone. So basically, you always get it. Now, you may put any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield under your control. Put the rest on the bottom in random order. Good God. Yeah, you just need a commander. It costs like, I don't know, 20. And then you can and you just play it. You just ramp into this thing, play it for 8, and just obliterate the board with permanents that are just devastating. I think this is going to have a deck built around it. It seems pretty sweet. Gonna be expensive mythic. Alright, we have Wily Reversal. Or Willie's Reversal. So we got Reversal. Red and 2, instant. Choose target spell or ability with 1 or more targets. Roll die 20. Add the greatest power among creatures you control. Alright. 1 through 14, you may choose new targets for that ability or spell. 15 plus, you may choose new targets for the ability or spell, then copy it, and you may choose new targets again. This is going to be a great rare. It's fork on crack. Especially as a rare, I think it's probably going to see a lot of play. I don't know if it's going to really be worth a lot of money, but it seems like it's going to be probably worth a lot of money. I'm just saying. All right, Emonin Mystic Trickster. So for a blue and 2, you get a 2/3 human rogue wizard because more text. Anyway, it has ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, draw a card, then draw another card if you've completed the dungeon. Good God. This is going to be in every dungeon deck that's going to have initiative as a side action. So you can play this for 3 mana and have your own personal double Howling Mine. Wow, this thing really should have been more expensive. Or not uncommon. Anyway, so we have the Flaming Fist. Anyway, so for a white and 2, it's a background. Whenever this creature attacks, it gains double strike in a turn. Wow, that's a pretty good thing for your commander, especially if your commander's doing some really shady shenanigans when he hits. Next, we have the Far Traveler. So for a white and 2 background, Commanders you own have, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to one target tap creature you control, then return to the battlefield untapped under its owner's control. This is a pretty great blink spell for swinging with something they don't want to block, and then if they can't kill it, it's just a blink out, blink back in, get it, enter the battlefield trigger, along with now it's untapped to block. Like this just seems goofy. Next we have Gluntic the Bestower. Okay, it's a white, green, and 1 for an 0/5, but fight jellyfish. Anyway, it has flying at the beginning of your end step. Choose a player. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature that they control. Choose a second player to draw a card. Then choose a third player to create 2 treasure tokens. If I've ever seen a card for the Pillow Fight deck, it's got to be this one. Like, why would you kill this guy? Because he's giving people +1/+1 counters, and people are drawing a card and getting free treasure tokens. This is disgusting. Honestly, too, though, this is if you have 3 creature, or if you have 3 players, this thing is mana ramp on crack. Because you get you give yourself 2 treasures on turn 3, you're gonna cast a spell at 6 mana on the next turn. Like, this is disgusting. Yeah, this rare is gonna be worth some money, I think. Anyway, moving right along. You have the Dungeon Delver, so for a blue and 1 background. Commander creatures you have room abilities of dungeons you own, trigger an additional time. Again, another thing for the dungeon deck. There's actually a couple. There's a creature that has this ability already, which is already blue. Now with this, you could have dungeon rooms trigger 3 times. That just sounds disgusting. But anyway, I like it. I think this card's actually going to see play, even as an uncommon. So, next we have Arrhenius the Gloomstalker. So, for a green and 2, you get a 3/3 with Death Touch, Halfling Ranger. When it attacks, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty sweet, too. I like this card. It's pretty nice. Especially in green, we can mill land into your deck with a mulch or something and just start whipping them out of the graveyard. I like it. All right. So, thanks a lot for watching. That's all we have for today. And as always, quick look at the hamster again. I didn't have time to get some of these yesterday, so this could have been a shorter video. Apologize for that. But as always, if you enjoyed the content and you like what we're talking about here and you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button. That way we can get to 1,000 subscribers so we can actually hit that goal and that milestone. It'll help the channel out, help support us, and I would appreciate it. Also, comments down below feed the algorithm, along with hitting that notification bell so you can see all the new videos when they come up. And don't forget, if you've already done everything you can, including subscribing, feel free to go to the links in the description. There's a link to the eBay store, link to the Patreon page where you can put a monthly subscription in there and get some really sweet deals on some swag, along with special deals on Magic the Gathering boxes, which will be starting with Baldur's Gate until I run out. First come, first serve. So get on over there, get in it. And if you have any questions, there's also an email in there too. Feel free to hit me up. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And as always, until next time, be kind. And I hope to see you, or this hamster, across from the game table.